All right, well, welcome to another episode in my S3 series. As you can see, I've got some stuff a little pre-prepped just because no one wants to sit here watching me grate things or try to fight with garlic clove skins. But today we're going to be making tzatziki sauce. And as I already alluded to, you're going to have a whole grated cucumber. And you're going to want to grate that into a towel or paper towels or something because you really want to squeeze out as much of that liquid as you can. I apologize for the mess, but we've had painters here all week and it's gotten things a little out of hand and whatnot. So then, into your food processor, you can use a blender too for this, but I find that using a blender makes it a little too thin for my liking and for what I like to use it on. So we're going to use a food processor and try not to make a mess with the grated cucumber. Next thing we're going to do is garlic cloves. Now I have 3 because we like a lot of garlic. This is something that I would recommend you play around with and try to figure out exactly how much you want to use because it's something that's different with everybody. And one thing I will say is when you're using garlic, you always want to squish it before you chop it for something like this. And the reason is, if you were just to slice this, yeah, you would get broken up pieces of garlic, but crushing it like this, it expresses its oils, which allows it to be a little bit more flavorful. And in a good sauce like this, which in this case is going on some burgers, you want that extra garlicky flavor because you don't want to have everything else overpowering it. And this is something that uses an herb I'm not a huge fan of, dill, that my wife really likes. So I want it to be a little extra garlicky, so I taste less of the dill. All right. Next, we're going to take the zest of a lemon that I forgot to wash beforehand. Always wash all your stuff. And I will be the first to admit, this part isn't in the initial recipe, but I like it, so I do it. Take 1 lemon, we're going to zest about half of it. Just for a little bit of that extra flavor. We're going to cut this bad boy in half. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before, but if not, what you see me doing is I'm rolling this lemon because it loosens up everything inside, which is going to let you squeeze it so much more easily. Yeah, just got a seed in there. That's the other reason I'm doing this over my hand, is to catch the seeds that come out as I squeeze this. Do I lose some of the lemon juice? Yes, of course I do. That's wwhy, even though this is supposed to be like half of a lemon, I'll probably use all of it, but I'm going to reserve using all of it for the end in case of a little bit of different flavor. I got to get a spoon to get that out. And these are the things they never show you when you see all these professionals on TV. They never show you the things that, aren't perfect. But hey, nothing in life is perfect. So next, we're going to take 1 tablespoon. That doesn't have a tablespoon on it. Yes, I have a million different measuring spoons. We're going to take 1 tablespoon of olive oil, using an extra robust, extra virgin olive oil for this. Put that in there. Next, you want 8 ounces of a plain, non-flavored Greek yogurt. And for those wondering, 8 ounces is 1 full cup. My cup measuring cup here. Throw a little extra in there. Everything that sticks to the cup is get it in there. All right, and now we need half a tablespoon of dill. It doesn't have a half tablespoon on either, okay. And ideally you'd want fresh dill, but I don't have that, so I'm using store-bought dried dill. Just throw that right in there. So strong. And then just a little bit of salt and pepper. Now, I've mentioned before, But like, we don't like a huge amount of salt, so I'm actually gonna use garlic salt because that's gonna enhance the flavor a little bit and be a little bit more garlicky. I'm gonna have to try to flex some editing chops too, because I'm gonna be throwing this on the food processor and blast people's ears out otherwise. All right, so now I'm gonna put this on the food processor, and this isn't something that's gonna go very long. It's just something that you're gonna want to do until everything is combined. So I usually just pulse it until it looks combined and put a silicone spatula in there and move things down as I need to. And while yes, I realize that 90% of my kitchen is Ninja appliances, I am not sponsored in any way. They just work well. This blender slash food processor combo is like 10 years old, going strong, so. All right, smells about right, but I can see some of the spices and stuff sticking to the food processor on the side on the top, where, you know, none of the yogurt or any of the lemon juice or oil is getting to. So you just want to squish that down a bit. Another good reason why I like this, again, not sponsored. I don't know if you just noticed there, but it will automatically stop when it detects the lid is open. So it's very safe for people with families. And we're just going to give this a quick test. All I could taste was red pepper on that. Let's try green pepper. Good, nice and fresh. It's a little bit garlicky, so I'm gonna add a tiny bit more olive oil and lemon. Because while I like garlic, flavor balance is a little off, so that's why you always keep extra of anything that you need, just in case, because you never know. Especially when using fresh ingredients like, another seed, fresh herbs, or in this case, a fresh lemon. You never know how that specific one is gonna behave. So you always wanna have a little bit more than you need. And if you don't wanna deal with lemon seeds, you can buy seedless lemons. But I find that seedless fruit tends to be a lot more expensive. Have it, a nice tzatziki sauce. Always got to check, make sure it's good. Quality control. Solid. All right. So yeah, that's another entry in our S3, sauces, salads, and sides for everyone. This is great. I'm going to be using it on a Greek smash burger, which I may or may not make a video of. I'm cooking it outside, so I don't have full control over whether or not I can film. So yeah. That's it, and I will see you guys for dinner.